Hi, singers. My name is Justin Stoney, and I'm the founder of New York Vocal Coaching here in New York City. Welcome to episode 98, so close to 100 of Voice Lessons to the World, the show where we want to answer your singing questions from all over the world. And our question for the day comes from Nan C in Hanoi, Vietnam. And Nan writes, "Dear Justin, I love your episodes, but some of the topics are very advanced. I'm just a beginner starting off. Could you do an episode on where to begin?" Now, Nan, yes we can, yes we will. That is a great question. But might I say that the greatest singers out there realize that they're beginners at heart. I once did an interview with the great Tony Bennett for Huffington Post, and I asked Tony about the secret to his longevity. His answer was that he never wants to stop getting better. Even in his 90s, he still sort of feels like a beginner. So, no matter where you are on your vocal journey, I hope that today you can consider yourself to be a beginner. After all, the curious beginner's mind remains at the core of every true genius. And so today, Nan, we are all beginners. And that leads us to step 1 of our 12-step journey. Step 1, it all starts with belief. You really have to believe first before you can sing well. You have a God-given right to sing. Not everybody's meant to be a big star, but everyone is meant to sing. Once you believe and own your right to sing, you definitely will find your voice. Don't listen to the people who tell you no. Listen to that voice inside you that tells you yes. It's as easy as this. The voice is muscular. It's very similar to training at the gym. If you want to get in good shape, you will. It's all about that belief, that focus, that attitude, that commitment. Same thing is true with singing. But Justin, I thought I had to be born with it. No, that's the biggest lie there is. The truth is, really everybody has some kind of training. Whether they sing in church or some choir, or maybe you just sing every day when you walk to school. Something is making you into the singer that you are. But the transformation really happens when you start to believe you're a singer. And that can happen at any stage, even today. So isn't it time to believe, to follow what you know is inside you? Isn't it time to do something for you? Isn't it time to train your voice? Yes, yes, it totally is. Which leads us to step 2, getting your breathing right. Singing doesn't take as much air as we'd think. But what's the first thing that happens when you try to hit that high note that you're scared of? That's right, a big gasp. And that's chest breathing. It's not what we want. Why? Well, it's too much air and no control over that air. There's a tendency to force the voice. The neck muscles also get involved. Yet the body and the mind naturally think that more is the only answer, but it's not. What do we really want? Well, first, belly breathing. Belly breathing allows the diaphragm to descend easily and freely. Try it. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, bring it in. That's very good. One more time. Inhale, open. Exhale, bring it in. Very good. This breath is relaxed, it's deep, it's efficient. You won't get too much, and you won't use too much. Next, rib breathing also helps. Place your hands on your rib cage. Inhale, open. Exhale, bring them down. One more time, good. Inhale, open. And exhale, bring them down. You want your ribs to be flexible and free to expand and move. Now, combining belly breathing and rib breathing together, and you've got the ideal combination. Remember, always take what air you need and what feels comfortable. And when you go to sing, let your air out gradually and efficiently. There's never a reason to force it. There's always a reason to relax and let go more, which is appropriate for step 3, eliminate physical tension. Good singing is usually blocked by holding tension in a few key areas. Before we can make our best sounds, we have to eliminate tension in those areas. One of those areas is the neck. Before you start singing, stretch your neck. It's It's really as easy as just going side to side, up and down, and in diagonals. Take the time to stretch before you start singing. Next, you could also stretch your jaw and your tongue. They hold a lot of tension too. You can open and close the mouth and move tongue side to side. Stretching through those muscles really makes a big difference. Finally, we hold tension in the upper body. Don't let it collapse too much, but also don't let it lift too much. Both are bad habits that cause tension. Just have a nice, tall, confident sternum. Once you've found freedom in the neck, the jaw, the tongue, and the upper body, it's time for step 4. Understand your larynx. Your larynx is where your vocal folds are located. The vocal folds vibrate hundreds, even thousands of times per second to produce your pitches. The larynx lifts up when we swallow and drops down when we yawn. Try it. Place fingers on your larynx and swallow. And you'll notice it raises. And now fingers on larynx, go ahead and yawn. And your larynx drops. Now it's important to know that we don't want the larynx to be a pitch changer too much. That sounds something like this. What we want is very little movement. You want the larynx to raise up for high notes and drop down for low notes. This is where most of the vocal strain that you might feel comes from. Now, some larynx movement is unavoidable as we navigate our entire range, but as you're learning to sing, do your very best to not lift it up for high pitches and drop it down for low pitches. Whatever strides you can take to minimize this movement will translate into vocal control. Speaking of which, it's time for step 5, exploring our vocal registers and chest voice. Chest voice is the strength of your voice. For those of you wanting a powerful sound, this is your foundation. Now, it's important to not take chest voice excessively high, but it's just as important to have it. Some people avoid chest voice because they've been told that it's bad, but really, it's one of the most critical parts of your voice to explore. For men and also women, it's typically your speaking voice. In fact, it's almost always your shouting voice. But women, and sometimes men, avoid singing in chest voice fairly often because chest voice ain't pretty. But I've got a big secret for you. Getting to be a good singer ain't pretty either. You have to be willing to make all kinds of weird and wild sounds. And we're gonna start that process with a chest voice exercise. Say something for me. Say, power. Ooh, that was nice. One more time. Say, power. Great, and it helps to do the fist too. Now, we're going to put it to an exercise. We'll start off with the guys, and then we're going to bring in the ladies. Here we go. Power. That's right. Good for you. Now bring in the ladies. Power. Right. Keep it strong. Power. Yes. Good. Nice and tough. Power. Right. And a few more. Power. Right. Last one strong. Power. Ooh, that was filled with power. So now that we've explored our vocal power, step 6, let's explore our vocal flexibility. Explore your head voice and falsetto. These are your flexibility. It's head voice if you're a female and falsetto if you're a male. Now remember what we said, singing is muscular. You're a vocal athlete. You need to train both your strength and your flexibility. Head voice and falsetto are signs of vocal health. They're also sustainers of vocal health, keeping you healthy. And they're also the #1 way to build your range over time. Try something weird for me. Say, yoo-hoo! This was great. One more time. Yoo-hoo! Yes, very nice. Now that's your head voice and your falsetto. We're gonna put it to pitches, just like this, guys and gals on the same notes. Yoo-hoo! Beautiful. Right. Yoo-hoo! That's it. Yoo-hoo! Come down. Excellent. Yoo-hoo! A few more. Last one. Yoo-hoo! Feeling that flexibility, that resonance, that stretch. Next time, in part 2, we're gonna learn how to blend that flexibility with the strength that we already learned. But for now, that's the end. If you've got questions that you'd like to see answered on our show, you can send an email to questions@voicelessonstotheworld.com. Remember, don't lose that joy. Don't lose that passion. Don't let people tell you you can't sing. You and I both know it's not true. Get with a great voice teacher in an area near you, or if you're in New York City or you'd like to Skype with one of our staff, you can visit us at newyorkvocalcoaching.com. If you'd like a vocal course you can do in the comfort of your own home, check out the Voice Lessons to the World vocal course, a 12-part course that takes you on a singing journey from beginner to master level vocal exercises. You can find that at voicelessonstotheworld.com. And if you'd like daily vocal tips sent to you for free each day, sign up at dailyvocaltips.com. Until the second part of our journey, keep that beginner's mind and keep making a joyful noise. Our question for this week comes from Marcus L. in Würzburg, Germany. And Marcus writes, "Dear Justin, I've always enjoyed your vowel episodes. How can I improve my A vowel?" Well, Marcus...